Welcome to another episode of Game Boy Roulette, where we take a look at randomly chosen games from the Game Boy library. Solitaire FunPak. Feels a bit limited, but okay. I gotta say, in general, the Game Boy has had a good track record with card games. I've talked about before how the Game Boy felt like the evolution of those little handheld poker games, but now with the ability to play poker and Mario. So it's only natural that we've seen a lot of card games on the system, whether they be casino packs or the surprisingly deep and fun high-stakes gambling. So whenever a card game comes up, I get pretty excited, especially because they tend to be minigame packs, which I've always had an enthusiasm for. Something about taking a small system and having a cartridge full of even smaller games just works perfectly. I will admit I think the formula was perfected with my beloved WarioWare, but these minigame packs still hit all the right notes. Still though, Solitaire? I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoy a good round of Solitaire, but I always find that with the number of cards, it's best played when you have an actual deck of cards, or at the very least a mouse and keyboard. But most of the card games I like on the Game Boy tend to feel adversarial, like you're against someone when you play poker or blackjack. In Solitaire, it's just you flipping cards over. I don't know, it's kind of hard to put my finger on it, but I can't muster the same enthusiasm when it comes to Solitaire. And more importantly, it's a fun pack, which means there are probably a lot of versions of the game, like Standard Solitaire and Clock Solitaire, and other versions that I'm sure exist, but I can't think of right now. The box art is surprisingly minimalist. I wonder if they knew that there's more than one suit and cards, and I'm less amazed at them packing 12 different versions of Solitaire onto the cartridge, and more the fact that there exist 12 different versions of Solitaire. The Game Boy is set to deal us another game. Cards lined up for Solitaire FunPak. Beam Software and Interplay. I think they've worked together a bunch before. Ooh. That's actually kind of a neat title screen. Solitaire FunPak. And there all of them are. Tournament? For the record, I do not know what most of these are. So, I have a manual for this game open in the other window so I can read the rules. Wait. Poker? Hang on, let's start with Klondike. Ooh, this game costs 28 points to play. Draw deck many times. Wait a minute, there's a point system. A automatically moves us up there. Move you here. Nowhere there. I have all 4 nines exposed. What the hell? Alright, in terms of how the game is controlling, pretty well, actually. You just tap, or you can hold B to move stuff around. There's nice background music, too. Oh, hello. Oh man, I am so good at this game. Even though for the most part it comes down to luck. I don't think I can see anything. What happens when I pause? Redeal, deal again. Oh, so redeal same would be like restart the game. Oh, there's multiple music tracks? Ooh. Smooth jazz deployed. Okay, so we know how this one... Oh, wait. I'm gaining points, I just noticed. Using a point system is interesting. Does it save your point progress, I wonder? Either way, let's play something different. How the hell do you play tri-peaks? Yep, there they are. The object of the game is to move all the cards from the tableau to the discard pile. Descending order. So there's a 3. Can I move a 2? Yes, I can. Then maybe an ace. 6, 7. Oh, I see. Oh, king, ace. Okay. Can ace go to 2? It can. Then back to ace, then back to 2. 7, 6. Oh, this is an easy one. I have cleared Mount Frey client. What? Or Mount Freycinet. Is that a real mountain? A prominent granite peak within the national park on Tasmania's east coast. Oh, of course. I'm glad the Solitaire game mentioned that. Oh god, it's counting my time. 3. Mount Strzelecki. I'm learning something today about mountains and Solitaire. And you know what? I'm really liking this pack. Just, it does it again. I always love... Oh, wait. Are we doomed? 9. Oh, we were so close. And there's a lot of games. Now, what's tournament mode do? Wow. There was a lot more to this game than I figured there'd be. This is a really well done pack. Okay, what's poker? King, 2, 5. ace, 7, queen. Can I just do like that? Yes, I think. What am I doing? 1 pair, 2 points. Did my flush not work? Hang on, real thing. Jack, king, 2, 8. Hang on, no, we're going for a flush. There we go. Oh, I must have put down the wrong card. Oh, weird. This is like a poker solitaire hybrid. You have to make the highest score you can. Golf. It looks like the points don't save between... Yeah, they do not save between rounds. How do you play golf? The manual actually does a really good job at explaining how each of these games work. A lot of these games do play similarly, but I guess that's kind of the point of solitaire. A lot of them are just only play a queen onto a king. Oh, ace is low. Right. Let's try one more. How about pyramid? Yep, that's a pyramid, all right. This game costs 28 points to play. I think the point system's a little weird. Maybe it comes more in on tournament mode? How do we play pyramid? The queen and ace move together, as do the jack and the 2, 10 and 3, 9 and 4, 8 and 5, 7 and 6? Oh, it's like a pairs game. Okay, this is actually a really good game. It has good music, it keeps the gameplay simple while giving you a lot of varieties. And I just really quick want to check out the tournament mode. I'm betting tournament mode is just how many points can you get in each game before you get game over, and then it scores everything. Huh. I really don't have much to complain about. I guess the game is a little limited in that it's only solitaire, but like, that's exactly what it's offering. It's just, hey, here's a bunch of solitaire games that all look good and play good. Here's a couple bonus modes. It's everything you could want out of a solitaire game. I think this may have sold me on solitaire in general, which just once again goes to show how powerful the Game Boy truly is. I apologize, Solitaire. I wasn't familiar with all your games. Remember earlier when I said how much I love minigame collections? Because I've played so many, I know what goes into a really good collection. And Solitaire FunPak, to my surprise, hit on every one of those points, turning it into one of the better collections I've played on Game Boy Roulette. The controls were simple and easy to understand, which is good because some card games do try to overcomplicate things. There was fun background music with a couple tracks to select from, easy ways to reset games or start new ones, a tournament mode to bring each game together. It's all the proper choices to make a minigame collection fun. The real meat of minigame collections is, of course, the games, and again, to my surprise, a pack of just 12 solitaire variations absolutely worked well. I was worried that the games would be too similar to make the pack feel like it had much variety, but the different types of solitaire had just enough differences to make them all distinct, while retaining similar mechanics so you could jump between them well. I do wish they had rules explained in cartridge, but the manual had excellent breakdowns of each game, and I think for a card game collection, that's a fair play. Other than that nitpick, though, I can't really think of anything I do to change this game. They hit on all the right notes, it had enough variety, and enough options to make it a really excellent package. So this game gets a shockingly high recommendation from me, especially for people who enjoy a nice little game of solitaire. With plenty of games to choose from and plenty of quality of life options, this is one of the most well-made minigame collections I've played on the Game Boy. And what other Game Boy game will teach you about mountains? This game really does have everything you'd ever need. And that's all for another episode of Game Boy Roulette. Make sure to like the video, comment, and subscribe to follow the series as we continue to dig through the Game Boy vault. I'm Brian J, and I'll see you next time.